Now, Judy, we're going to have to be in our best behaviour for this next guest. Please sit up.
Course.
Thank you. He is a leading etiquette coach with his helpful, refined videos on social media getting millions of views. Well done, Judy, this is good. As well as being one half of the very naughty Help, I Sexted My Boss podcast with Jordan North. But now he's heading out on the road solo. Please welcome William Hanson.
I should pull that out for you, or
well, you can do if you want to.
I could do.
I was okay. But
is it all right for a woman to pull it out?
Yes, I think now. Yes, I think chivalry is updated now. It shouldn't just be you pulled out their chair because they're a woman. It's just because they're a human being, whether they're male, gender, however they identify. Right. We can adapt the etiquette to today's society.
You know what I did notice when you came out, you sat down and you undone the buttons of your jacket.
Yes. Otherwise, there's a bit too much tension.
Right.
We might take your eye out with a button flying off. We don't want that.
Maybe you could do that, Judy, because there's a lot of tension going on there.
There's a lot. We would be off air like that.
Now, William, we were talking about first kisses. Mylene didn't even get a first kiss on the first date.
I got plenty after.
Yeah, we know. To kiss or not to kiss on the first date?
Well, I think you've got to judge it. It depends on how it goes and how it feels. I think it's an instinct. I think sometimes we can create too many rules, and it would, we don't want to create a rule for the sake of a rule. If it goes well, yes, you would hope that a kiss would be lovely. I went on a date once and shook his hand at the end, and we didn't get a second date. I thought everything was going marvellously, but yeah, he read that differently. I don't know why.
I think maybe Judy could give you some advice on that. Actually,
do people get nervous going on dates with you, though, that maybe their etiquette isn't well?
Yeah, I mean, I'm married now, so I go on fewer dates now. Much to the relief of my husband, but...
So how did he snare you?
Well, we were friends, actually. Yeah, we were friends for a long time.
Does he have really good manners?
He does, yes. Yes, he pulls me up on things and quotes me back to me, which is...
Never annoying.
A delight.
How did you get into this world? Because I can't lie, you've come in and all of a sudden I'm sitting quite straight. Speaking
I was telling them all about your banana video.
Oh, yeah.
But it's so fascinating, and I think it's such a good thing. I know you're saying that you would think that it's good that it should be put into schools, but how did you get into this kind of lifestyle?
Well, my late grandmother gave me a book of etiquette when I was 12, and I quite liked it, but I wanted to know why you had to do certain things. I didn't just want to be told how to do this. I wanted to know why we had to do it. So I would buy more etiquette books. And, I mean, I didn't make a song and dance about reading etiquette books at school. I didn't have many friends as it was, so... Oh, no, don't patronise me. Thank you. And then when I was 16 at my school, they said, oh, we're looking for someone to teach the younger years how to set a table. Do you think you could do it? And I said, well, does that mean I can get out of doing rugby? And they said, oh, yes, that's fine. And that was me. That was me signed up. So I started teaching at my own school to the younger years. And you know, 17+ years later, I'm sort of still going.
How do you very politely tell your podcast partner that you're going on tour without him?
Yeah, I should state, for the record, Jordan and I have not fallen out at all. But, yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do a solo tour. It's going to be very different from Sexted, similar but different. It's not an etiquette lesson, I should say. We're not getting everyone there with a napkin and a knife and fork. But they can ask whatever questions they want. And I'm very excited to be able to tell stories about my career, because I've been very lucky to work with all sorts of people in all sorts of places. Stories I can't maybe tell elsewhere, but I can tell in a more intimate setting of whichever theatre I'm going to.
One of the first places that you worked at some years back, I think it was in Wales, I might have got that a bit wrong, but you now own that company, is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
So my wonderful friend and former colleague Alexandra, who ran this etiquette school called the English Manor, read about me in, I think, the Telegraph and Tatler in the same week, back in 2008, and she was very entrepreneurial and wrote to me and said, well, if you're going to do this, please come and do it for us. And so my first job she sent me on was going over to Milan to go and teach. I know, I thought, this is nice. We'll stay doing this. And then, yes, I was very fortunate to be able to buy the company in 2019.
Wow.
The tour, of course, called Solitary Refinement. As you say, people will get a chance to ask questions, but we've got some questions coming from our viewers. So Dave says, I'm meeting the possible new in-laws this weekend, and they're very well-to-do. What's the best piece of advice?
Well, I think you've probably just got to relax and be yourself. Don't try to be anyone that you're not, because that's going to be very hard to sustain if things do go well and they do become the actual in-laws, if you're suddenly a different person to who they met initially. But this is where actually knowing etiquette can help, because it's not supposed to be a sort of a straitjacket of rules that you have to panic about following. It's just meant to give you confidence, so you can go into whatever situation, meeting the new in-laws, and you sort of know what to do. And a bit like driving a car, it just sort of happens whilst you have a chat, listen to the radio, check there's nothing in your teeth, that sort of thing.
Do you take a gift? Flowers, chocolates, wine?
Yes, I would take something small, nothing too ostentatious, because, you know, you're sort of semi-family-ish at that point, but a little box of chocolates everyone likes.
Well, I've got a question. Oh, sorry, go on.
No, I was just going to say, talking about small talk, if you're not used to it and you go into an environment, how do you open up to people? How does that work? If you're at a dinner, for example.
You want to find something in common. That's the idea with small talk. Something positive as well. If you've got nothing in common, you know, how do they know the host? If we've gone round to Kay's house for dinner, how do you know Kay? How did you meet Kay? Something positive. Talk about the room. What a beautiful ceiling. What a lovely piece of art. That sort of...
There we go.
That sort of thing.
I want to talk about the banana video, because I've been eating bananas incorrectly for all of my life.
Have
I
you?
didn't realise this until I watched your video.
OK, yes. Well, would you like a little...
Here's one we provided earlier.
Marvellous. Well, I'll put this in front of you, Mylene. And
Can you do it in a minute? Can you eat a banana in a minute,
Show me what you would sort of normally do.
What I would normally do with this banana...
OK, pop it down. You've touched it already. You failed. So, formally, in formal dining, all fruit would be eaten with a knife and fork. So if you take the knife and fork for me, please, Mylene. And if you just cut off the tip on that side. Very good.
On a banana.
On a banana.
Tip gone.
And cut off that end. Marvellous.
I have never seen anyone do this. Am I going to the wrong party?
You need to get out more.
I do. That is true.
And...
that is true.
Then just sort of slice down. I mean, it's not the ripest of bananas, so you're doing marvellously well. So just peel down the skin. I'll hold the plate.
Thank you.
Imagine if they offered you a fruit salad.
OK.
And then you just sort of prise open the skin with your knife and fork, like so, and then slice a bit off from the banana side.
And it comes out.
And then there we go. Clean hands.
And then
Fantastic! Go on, Judy!